Hello my brothers and sisters of the Order, welcome back to the Order. I'm Celtic Templar, and today y'all we are actually going to be discussing of a type of military unit that is sadly very little known. And in such, many people don't realize about this military unit. I can understand that. This is why we don't actually have our usual opening intro. Mainly because one, we don't exactly have much information on them. In fact, this military unit was originally the 300 bodyguard unit of the kings of Rome. However, it is also indicated that this military unit actually were the ones that also removed the idealism of the kings of Rome entirely. And such, not just removing, but as well also ending the line of the kings in Rome entirely. However, from very little written accounts that we have, both from Roman historians and Roman playwrights, we can understand that these military units were not just used as the royal bodyguard to the king, but as well even that of a military unit of skirmishers. And as well, some accounts even write that when a military formation was breaking apart or was failing on the field of battle, this 300 strong military unit would join the ranks of the hoplite units. So why not actually get into this entire detail, shall we? It is described that the tunics that were worn by these warriors were stated to have worn the bloody tunics of Mars, possibly stating that these tunics were red. As other writings tell of after a defeat, they would have their tunics stripped from them and replace them with white linen, possibly indicating that if they died in battle, they would be buried. The footwear that was worn was of the everyday style of footwear worn at this time, as it did depend on the user of which design he preferred. However, some believe that these warriors did not wear any footwear while on the battlefield, indicated with some historical artwork. Greaves would be worn in order to protect the user from downward blows to their legs. It is also indicated that these greaves would vary from user to user, as some of them actually preferred a strapped-on design, while others preferred a Hellenistic design, as you see here. The armor that was worn was mainly that of bronze armor. One account tells that it resembled that of the Eastern Hillmen, indicating that it might have been copied from the Samnite tribes. As it stated, the rider would be light and nimble while on horseback and on foot. In fact, from their armor that they wore, it is actually indicated that these men were wearing the golden armor of Sol, or later known as Sol Invictus, the Roman god of the sun. In other words, this armor gleamed on the field of battle. This is why whenever we think about it, it means that one, they were probably all wearing bronze armor, rather than anything else. helmets that were worn depended on the user, as there were accounts of them wearing various designs that were found throughout Italy, Greece, and even as far north as the Hallstatt culture. So it did depend on the user. However, my biggest belief is that they might have worn something identical to that of the Samnite Attican helmet, but that is just my biggest belief. However, if they did, it's very little known. The shields that were used weren't actually of the hoplite style shields. Even though there is an account stated that their shields were strapped to their arms, we have to also understand that a hoplite shield is not the best on horseback. This is why some historians believe it would have been more identical to a smaller hoplite shield design, as you see here. In fact, one written account actually even describes the companion riders as habilite parvi equestries, or in this case, little riding hoplites. In other words, probably indicating from their shield design. The swords that were used varied on the user. as one warrior would probably prefer the falcata, while another would probably prefer the xiphos. And such though, it did depend on which one preferred the other. It is also indicated that these warriors used both javelins and spears on the battlefield. However, it is indicated that they would use javelins while on horseback, but use only the spear indicated in the form of self-defense. In fact, one written account, it is stated that these warriors would throw the darts of Juno upon their enemies, while keeping the spear of Minerva to protect the city.
The sun.